In this video, I'll be discussing what reload maps I think we could potentially see in the future. If you guys happen to enjoy this video, consider leaving a like and subscribing and using code WATSOG in the Fortnite item shop. And yeah, let's get straight into it. Alright, to kick things off, I think a Chapter 2 Season 2 themed map would be a very good addition to Reload. As it suggested, this map would be themed around the Chapter 2 Season 2 spies kind of POIs. So I think a good layout for this map would be kind of similar to what they had in Chapter 2 Season 2, with the agency in the middle, and then the other 4 POIs spread out across the map in each corner. So like the shark in the top left, the rig in the bottom left, the yacht in the top right, and then the grotto in the bottom right. And then obviously, we'd still need a few more POIs because this is a reload map and they typically have around 9 POIs. So just like in that empty space, is kind of thrown like a few new original POIs that kind of fit with the theme of like the spy kind of vibe, you know what I'm saying? And that would basically make a perfect reload map, you know? I think it would probably be one of the most popular ones, you know? Because even right now, the other Chapter 2 map we have right now, Slurp Rush, that map is probably, in my opinion, the best map we have for reload. So making another Chapter 2 map probably would be a good idea, you know what I'm saying? So I think that would be a cool addition for a reload map. Next, we have a Chapter 4 Season 1 themed map. Now this is a map I feel like a lot of people probably don't think about that could happen for reload, but you know, I think it would be cool. So basically the whole idea of this map is that it would be kind of split between like the grassland area and like the autumn medieval biome that the Chapter 4 Season 1 map had. There's also the snow biome in Chapter 4 Season 1, but I don't really think that would fit on this small map, so I'm not gonna say that should be included. But obviously in the green area you'd have POIs like Slappy Shores, for example, because that was in that area. And you know, it'd probably be a good idea to have like faulty splits be like in this POI, or in this map I should say, kind of like bridge the gap between the two, because that's kind of its gimmick. So that would be cool. So have that be kind of like splitting between the autumn medieval biome and the like grassland biome. I think that would be cool. And then obviously you'd have like other POIs as like maybe the Citadel could be at the center of the map. Then you have Shattered Slabs, which maybe not. If they have another POI they'd want to put somewhere else, maybe they could like skip that one. But you know, Shattered Slabs is a decent POI, so I could see them throwing it on this map. Anvil Square would definitely come back in a Chapter 4 themed map. There is no way. That's like the Tilted Towers of Chapter 4, you know what I'm saying? I guess Mega City's kind of that, but no one really landed Mega City after like the first few weeks that it came out. Anvil Square was where it's at, you know what I'm saying? So Anvil Square definitely getting thrown on that Chapter 4 reload map. And then maybe you could throw like a Frenzy Fields kind of POI on there. I feel like that would kind of make sense. It's just kind of a generic farm POI, but you know, if there's enough space for it in the grasslands area, probably throw it in there. Probably make a lot of sense. So yeah, Chapter 4 Season 1 themed map would probably be pretty good, in my opinion. Definitely something that I think a lot of people would enjoy. They just don't know it, because it hasn't happened yet. Alright, next, I have an alien themed map. So I guess you could also say a Chapter 2 Season 7 themed map, but I'm talking like the aliens specifically, not like, oh, the aliens versus like the IO or whatever, you know, because like the IO had Corny Complex, you know. We're not including Corny Complex on this map. This will be an original like alien themed map, like maybe it's like on the home planet of like the aliens from Chapter 2 Season 7. So, and maybe you could like throw like Believer Beach in there, like maybe Believer Beach could be like a floating island out the edge of the map. You know, that could be cool. But besides the point, the main island would be an original Fortnite island with all original POIs that are made to look like they're from like an alien home planet. So maybe you could have like a mothership area, you know, maybe like throw one of those like mothership wreckage areas from Chapter 2 Season 8 on there. Maybe could be interesting. And maybe the convergence, because they are kind of related to the cubes, so maybe throw that on there. But other than that, no other existing POIs. Completely original, like alien kind of techie POIs. Maybe you could have like an airport for UFOs, maybe. I don't think they should add UFOs to the map. I don't think vehicles work in Reload. But having like an UFO themed kind of area, like that's like a airport kind of area, kind of like Frosty Flights maybe, but for UFOs. I think that could work. I think that would be cool, you know, something like that. Nothing too crazy, but you know, that could be cool. I think that would be a really fun map. I don't know how popular that map would be, but I think if they did it right, it would be really cool, in my personal opinion. All right, next up, we have a Chapter 3 Season 1 themed map. Now, this one seems like a no-brainer, like, oh, we got a Chapter 2 Season 1 one, we got a Chapter 1 themed one. Chapter 3 Season 1 seems like the best fit. And I agree, I think it would be a good addition to reload for a map. But the problem is, what would be the center POI? Because like the two that come to my mind are the Daily Bugle and Tilted Towers, and they both have some pretty big issues. Daily Bugle obviously being a collab location, and I know they made like the Squid Games collab map, but I don't know if they'd want to make an original map with one collab POI on it. I don't know. Like I know they're pretty close with Marvel, but I don't know if they'd really want to do that. Maybe they could save that for like a Marvel map, who knows. But Tilted Towers, the other best option in my opinion, I don't think would really work because it's already the center on the Venture map. So having Tilted be the center on 2 different maps, not preferable in my opinion. What I think they could do is maybe they could split the biomes again. So maybe have like a desert area and a like grasslands area. And what you could do is make Condo Canyon the center of the map. Although that might not also work because Condo Canyon is a bit similar to Paradise Palms, which is already centered on the Oasis map. So this has a few issues. Maybe you could do Greasy Grove. Greasy Grove could honestly work, actually. Nothing. You know what? Center of the map, Greasy Grove. That's what it'll be. Chapter 3, Greasy Grove. That's what the center of this map will be. And then some other POIs you could obviously bring back. Maybe you could bring like a little mini version of the Sanctuary. I feel like the Sanctuary is a little too big for like an actual real map. Like, it's not, honestly, it's probably comparable to Tilted Towers, but it's kind of more spread out, and it's, I don't know. I think it would be better if they made like a mini Sanctuary version. You know what I'm saying? And you could obviously have like Sleepy Sound. That POI would be like a really cool like edge of map POI. Camp Cuddle could be another edge of map POI, because that POI didn't really get a lot of time to shine, It got removed in season 3, and even before that, people didn't really land there, so probably wouldn't be too fun to land at, or too fun to leave it out, you know what I'm saying? I don't know, I still land at. I'm tripping on my words today for some reason. Logjam Lumberyard, maybe, but we already have a Logjam kind of POI on the Chapter 2 map, so maybe not. Maybe you could do like a little mini Covert Cavern Canyon. I forgot what that POI Cavern. I think it's Covert Cavern. That could be cool. Although maybe you would want to save that for like an IO themed like 7 map. Like maybe Chapter 3 Season 2 map. But who knows? Covert Cavern was added in Chapter 3 Season 1. So you could throw it on there. Could be cool. And then Shifty Shafts was in the Chapter 3 map. I almost forgot about that. But you could throw Shifty Shafts in there somewhere. As for other POIs this Chapter 3 map could have, maybe you could have like a Sunny Steps kind of POI, because that was kind of by where the Deadly Bugle was, outside the volcano, as like another original POI. Or you could just throw like actual Sunny Steps on that, but I don't know if you want to do that. Maybe have like a Sunny Steps-esque POI though. And then maybe you could do like a little mini 7 base and IO base somewhere on the map, because that's kind of like integral to the Chapter 3 storyline. But you could always save that for a Chapter 3 Season 2 map. So, maybe. But I think a Chapter 3 Season 1 map would definitely be a cool addition to Reload. And then for the final map in this video, and it's kind of not even really a serious map, this is kind of a joke map, but I think a bird-themed map would be a fun addition to Reload. So, this map is exactly what it sounds like. It is entirely just a themed map around the bird location from Chapter 6 Season 1. Now, there's a reason for this, because like the bird POI was pretty funny, I'm not gonna lie. Like, it's just a POI called Bird. That's it. And, like the POI itself wasn't anything too crazy. It was just like a glorified gas station essentially. But, it was funny, got a little bit of cult following, and they kind of just like unnecessarily removed it in Chapter 6 Season 2. Like, where it used to be is just like a big like construction truck and like a flattened piece of land. So it's kind of pointless, honestly. I don't know why they haven't like just kept it there. I don't know. Kind of weird. But a bird themed map would definitely be interesting, Central POI, definitely like Bird, obviously. Or they could do like a bigger version of Bird and call it like Big Bird. Something stupid like that, And then maybe have like normal Bird somewhere else. And then have like a bunch of like bird like remixes of POIs. Like maybe you could have like a bird retail row somewhere on the map. Or maybe you could do like bird, maybe just make this map like a bird version of the Venture map and just call it a day at that. That would be funny. That would be funny. At the end of the day, this is not a very serious POI, or map, I should say. Maybe they could do this for like an April Fool's edition. Like, April Fool's, here's a new Reload map, and it's all bird. That would be fun. That would be fun in my opinion. But yeah, that's about it. If you guys enjoyed that video, consider leaving a like and subscribing and using code WATSOG in the Fortnite item shop. And yeah, that's about it. See you in the next one. Later.